there's something we can't talk about. What do you guys think about this?
Well, there's something I can talk about.
What?
I was disrespected this weekend.
Oh yeah,
absolutely disrespected
Where?
this weekend. Outside of a club, outside of a nightclub.
You were at a club.
I went to a club.
Why?
Players and Twinks.
I went to Twinks and Players. It was
Yeah, my idea for a business is basically it's for like the low tier players, but we invite little skimp ass white dudes also. Mm-hmm. So then they can mog on the Twinks and feel better about themselves instead of losing all the pussy to Debo.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So is the idea that they would fuck the Twinks or that they would be?
Oh no, it's not a gay club.
It's not gay.
Guys like Adam go there to strike out.
I see. And the black.
I make the other guys feel better, but in exchange, Adam drinks free.
I drink
now,
free.
Are there any women?
You drink free if you win the smallest dick competition.
That's good.
And you get half of your $70 cover back.
That's
also.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that idea.
Yeah.
I got Death Stranding, and I like the menu so much, I don't think I'm going to play it.
It is. It's really pretty.
Yeah. I wonder if there's some music that goes along with this. Let's get some slombiance going.
I love slombiance.
Slobnombiance.
Slombiance. Anyway, I was outside of a nightclub.
Literally, what were you doing there?
I went out to a club with friends,
Like for fun.
to be a single person
to a
going to a
dance
club,
club?
to a dance club.
I wish I had fun.
I took ketamine because I hear that's what they're doing these days.
Who's the crew? Like, what are these? Just
I went out with. I'm not going to name the names.
I
You're
see.
going to make fun of me.
Shlomo and
I went with Ari and Ezra.
Ephraim and
and Menachem and yeah. Anyway,
you guys get a nice.
the two of them are leaving. I said there were these two girls we were dancing with. I said I'm going to stay and keep dancing with these ladies, right?
Okay.
So I said, but I'll walk you
so
out.
Wait a second. There's three of you and there's two women.
Yeah. Two girls we know, kind of whatever.
I see,
Okay.
I
So,
see.
but I said I want to keep dancing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to keep partying. But I'll
feel like dancing.
I'll walk you guys out,
Gonna suck
and
your
I'll
dick
I'll
again.
smoke a cig outside, and
Pop back
I'll say
in and get my
goodbye.
dick double sucked.
I'll say goodbye, and then I'll go back into this hellhole club that I'm in that I'm pretending is fun.
Where is this? In what neighborhood?
It's in like East Williamsburg.
Okay.
So.
Nice. Hell
Okay.
yeah.
So I have a
So you're
cigarette.
in an abandoned warehouse, basically.
Kind of a warehouse situation. I have a unlit cigarette, no lighter. I see a gentleman, a mayo ass, cracker ass, soy boy ass gentleman.
You look
and
into
his
a mirror.
and his East Asian girlfriend on the side, and he is smoking a cigarette. Listen. Okay, listen. So I have my unlit cigarette. I approached him. I said, sorry to interrupt. Gong. Yeah.
Babe, let's get out of here.
I approached him. I said,
Yeah, this place sucks. She's just fine. Yeah, this place sucks.
yeah, he's just talking that way. Yeah, no. So I approached him. I said, "Hey, sorry to interrupt. Could I get a light?" I showed them I had a cigarette.
Of
I was
course,
bumming
you're
a
not
cigarette.
looking for a cig. You just need
Just
flame.
the light. And he turns to me. He's like, "I'm sorry, I don't have a lighter, buddy." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, could I just light my cig off of your cigarette?" And he looks at me and goes, "That won't be happening."
Oh my god!
So I stood there and I was like, I was just froze. I was just shocked.
Yeah.
I was just like, what? I was like, what? I'm sorry, dude. I'm not even mad, but I just
You're
would
just
love
a
to
rude
know.
bitch.
I would love to know the rationale behind you saying no.
Yeah.
You cannot light a cigarette off of my cigarette. Mm-hmm. And he turns to me. He says, "This conversation is over."
Oh my god! You
So
gotta
then-
fuck that guy up, dude. I'm sorry.
So
You
then,
have to punch him.
me and so Ari and Ari.
I
I'm
mean,
just saying he's friends with you know who,
yeah.
a certain barista.
Yeah. Well, no.
wait, I don't know.
Okay, so
No.
anyway, so I'm like, all right, fuck this guy. You know, there's some other people smoking a cigarette,
Yeah.
but we're laughing. We're like dying laughing because
Yeah,
it's such.
I'm not even mad. I'm laughing.
I'm like, this is so weird. Why did he do that? What a
would have
fucking
been the
piece
cool
of
move,
shit.
like when go back to your car and then come back with
a gun.
no. That taser thing that Garth has in Wayne's World.
You
So-
should have kicked the cigarette out of his mouth.
Yeah.
So I said, So I said, okay. So we're laughing. And then, like, we're standing in a circle. I'm like, what could it have been?
Yeah.
Maybe he was getting in an argument with this girl, right? Maybe he was like, yo, he's just like, I can't do this right now. You know, maybe, maybe he thinks I'm someone else. Maybe it was a classic case of mistaken identity.
Maybe he thinks you're Adam Friedland from the Racist podcast.
Maybe. And then I said that, and then my friend was like, you're delusional. No one fucking cares about that.
Yeah.
And then his girlfriend walks up to us. We were about like 20 feet away. We're all kind of laughing.
Somebody nailed a
Here,
list of,
yes. In like within 3 blocks, yes.
Of what?
People do care of where we are, basically.
I guess. Maybe. We weren't far from here.
Yeah.
And she walks up and she's like, do you guys really want to know what it was? And I was like, yeah.
The Asian girlfriend?
Yeah, she was.
Okay, say it again.
She said, do you really want to know what it was? And so I said, yes, please. We're all trying to figure out what it was.
Yeah.
I would love to know. And she said, it was your conduct. And I was like, what are we in the military right now?
Yeah.
She said, your conduct on the dance floor. And I said,
Your conduct.
and I said,
Would you have your cock out?
I said, what do you mean? She said, you guys walked in the club. You were pushing everyone around. You were ruining everyone's night. And I was like, I think you're thinking of different people because I was standing in the back because I do not like to be touched by people on drugs.
Of course, yeah.
I like to have a little bit of a buffer zone and space around me. I don't like being in the middle of the dance floor. It makes me uncomfortable and I suffer from claustrophobia.
Mm-hmm. You three
And
alphas.
she said, I don't know. She's like, I don't know you white men anything. While her white boyfriend was standing there.
Unbelievable.
And
dude.
so
I
I
wish I
said,
was there to do the song.
yeah.
I would have lit her up with the song.
I mean, to say I don't owe you white men anything.
she said, I don't owe you white men
because
anything.
your fucking annoying boyfriend wouldn't light your cigarette because you were pushing people on a fucking dance floor.
So I said to her, I said, do you think there is a possibility that you're thinking of someone else? It was dark in there. You could have been
A lot
thinking
of
of someone
people
else.
dressed like me.
You
This-
clearly can't tell the difference between white people.
men.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then she turned to us and she said, the only way I keep answering your questions is if you
No.
pay me.
Oh my!
And then she
fucking
walks
God.
away. And then her boyfriend takes out another cigarette and lights it and he says, have a good night, boys. And then they get in an Uber.
Jesus Christ! And hilariously, you were kind of owned by them.
No,
Yeah.
well,
No, you
sir,
got-
You got completely
wrecked.
owned by 2 of the worst, fucking biggest.
how did we
losers in
get
the world.
owned? I mean, I was just trying to ask
You
them.
didn't get fire,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're like, and then after they owned you, you went back for a second helping.
They came back to us. We walked away.
Well, here's the thing, man. That is now I don't condone violence, but this is a
Yeah.
time where you do have to fight that guy.
That would be that would be the event where there's finally a video that gets me canceled.
Yeah. Like you got to
That's
slap
where it would
that
happen.
guy. I don't know, man. Or at least you don't let him talk to you that way.
Yeah.
Well, she was talking at the end. I mean, he was the only thing he said was like, "No, that won't be happening." And
I mean,
this
exactly.
conversation is over.
2 things.
And then you just
that
say
no person
you
could
ju-
ever
right. You
say,
just
should
say,
ever say to you.
Yeah, you should just say you don't have to be a cunt about it.
Yeah,
Never
yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
And then you walk away.
I started
And then the
laughing.
ball's in his court. And if he wants to say anything, you say, "No, you were being a dick."
No, shut up, bitch.
No,
Just
no,
go
no,
away.
and
then they're
No.
on the
We
defensive.
when they walked back to us, we were like, "You guys are at like Ezra was just like, you guys are assholes." Like we were like fucking like we're like, "What's your fucking problem right now?"
Oh, so robbing Ezra of his
no,
asserting
Ezra was
himself.
being he was asserting.
Shout out
himself.
to Ezra.
Shout out to Ezra, a young king and a cum boy.
Ezra's
actually.
12 years old.
Yeah. No, he is almost 12 years old. No, he's 24 years old. But
Adam's hanging out with
I'm hanging out with
children
my
at a
Gen
dance
Z.
at a fucking dance club.
I was hanging out with my Gen Z. Listen,
She's like,
guys,
listen, you want to know what it really
I'm
was?
trying
This
to
is the
re-
year of Adam.
I'm trying to reinvent myself.
She's like, you know what it really was? I don't like that you're out here molesting these children on this dance floor, sir.
I can't wait to reinvent myself. I'm ready for my next big fall.
Oh yeah,
No,
what do
no.
you think it is?
Oh, I don't know. Something bad will happen, and then I'm coming back.
We should no,
Just
honestly,
detached,
we should
Your problem right now is being too attached.
unhinged.
we should reinvent ourselves as ketamine guys. That's the new
No.
drug that I'm evangelizing.
You can be a ketamine guy.
How about you, betamine? I'm on board.
Oh,
Nick. We should do it
betamine?
sometime.
I've been feeling better lately. I finally
Honestly, it made me stop feeling depressed.
got all the shirts are gone.